Hello again from my front porch, where it is Halloween day here in the United States, and this means it's the last time that my buddies McCoy and Mulder will be out here on the front porch with me, sitting on the swing for this year at least, and then they go back behind the scenes. You may be wondering what I mean by that. Well, what I mean is they're here all the time. You just don't get to see them because they are behind the scenes. Here, I rarely ever show you the magic of what happens behind the scenes here at the front porch. So let me show that to you right now. Okay, so here you go. Here's a little sneak peek behind the scenes. See, there's McCoy and Mulder helping out there behind the scenes. Those two are really hard worker. They are very diligent. They do a fantastic job. Now wait a minute. If the two of you are sitting here with me, how are you back there too? You know what? It's Halloween day. Not gonna ask. Not gonna pry. But yeah, last night was Beggars Night in Des Moines, but didn't have any kids show up here. It was just kind of sad. But my address is Des Moines, but I live in the Saylorville Township. And apparently here in this township, Beggars Night is tonight. So it's possible kids will show up actually here tonight. The sad thing is, if the kids show up, they're going to get treated very well. We have more than enough candy, and so we'll probably be extremely generous. But it's windy out there, and so the inflatables, Lisa's inflatables out in the front yard, are not able to be up tonight. They were up last night. Lisa and Sophia went out trick-or-treating somewhere, in other parts of the neighborhood and other parts that they're used to going to, and the inflatables we had up, and it looked awesome. But tonight, because of the wind, I don't think the inflatables are going to, because some of them, like she has a giant Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, yeah, do not agree with wind at all. So sadly, we'll have lights on stuff, and we'll have McCoy and Mulder here to help greet anyone that comes to the front door. But unfortunately, I don't think the blow-ups are going to be up. Unless something magic happens and the wind just stops, I don't think that's gonna, it is Halloween, time for ghosts and goblins and ghouls and magic. But I don't know that kind of magic is going to happen tonight. But on the topic of magic, I did want to, thanking McCoy and Mulder for their help behind the scenes. I also wanted to walk you all through some of the behind the scenes magic of how I make the front porch, because this actually is a question I get surprisingly frequently. And I say surprisingly because when somebody asks me these kind of questions, it kind of implies they're aware of this program and they watch, which again is always a surprise to me. So anyway, I want to show. People say, how do you film it? What kind of equipment do you use? Well, you saw with McCoy and Mulder with the behind the scenes. It's just on an iPhone. I shoot the videos on an iPhone. In fact, the quality of the phone cameras has continued to increase with each generation of these smartphones that come out, and they are very adequate for this task. Now, if you were shooting it to be up on a big screen in a theater or something, yeah, maybe it wouldn't work as well. But for this purpose, for something that's going to post on Facebook, YouTube, that kind of thing, it's totally fine. And in fact, I even shot a series of videos for instructional use at my work and used my iPhone and edited it the same way I edit front porch videos that were then used in online training that got pushed out to across the company. And so it's totally sufficient for that kind of thing. Now, that being the case, though, I do get asked, so how do you record them? How do you edit them? So the recording, I just record them on my phone. I just use the video in my phone, and I do that. But the editing of it, well, now that's a different matter. And so I actually, there are lots of editing software. In fact, when I first started, oh, wow, that sun really came out bright. Wow, can you do something about that? Can you correct that lighting? Come on, you guys, get on the ball back there. But when I first started doing the front porch, I actually would record them on my phone, and then I would hook up my phone to my computer and have to export the video into my computer, where I used a software called Pinnacle to do the editing. That required me to jump through some extra hoops of converting over that video file so that it could be edited in that application. Sometimes it didn't work. Sometimes the audio and the video would get out of sync, and I'd have to do a lot of extra editing to make that work, and that was a little bit annoying, but you know, you may have seen a few of those episodes. But anyway, a few years back here, I figured out I didn't need to go to all that hassle, because recording things with my iPhone has a built-in video editor. It's a basic video editor, but it's a really good one. It's called iMovie. It's just right there already in the phone. I thought, well, maybe I'll give this a shot, see if I can do this. And it didn't mean that I had to sacrifice a few little bells and whistles that I was using in a full editing application on my computer, but the convenience factor far outweighs any of that, because now I'm able to edit within my phone, and I'm able to then take what I've edited on my phone and upload it directly into Facebook or YouTube, or send it to somebody or whatever. So that makes it very worthwhile. So I'm not going to show you everything about using iMovie. I'm just going to walk you through some basic details of how I use iMovie, and you know, you may pick up some tips along the way. So here you go, a little more of the magic of the front porch. All right, so the first thing that you have to do is you have to find iMovie on your device. In my case, iMovie, as you see on this screen here, is over to the right side in the middle. It's that blue or purplish box with a white star on it. That's the iMovie. Open that up, and you're in the program. You'll see that there are some other videos already here. That's the work videos that I told you that I worked on making. But I want to create a new movie. You can make a magic movie, which is a little wizard that iMovie walks you through some stuff, storyboarding to plan some things out. But I just want to make a movie. So there in the bottom right corner is the button that says Movie. That's the one I'm going to hit, and that will open us up into the function where we begin the process of editing the movie. First thing it wants me to select is the movie that I want to edit. Now you'll see I've been looking at videos and pictures I have in my library, but up there at the top for about 1 minute and 20 seconds is a little video clip, and that's the video clip I'm going to use for this purpose. All I have to do is click on it, select that one, and it will allow me then to start making my movie. But so the first thing I have to do is I have to click on it. Now I'll get the little blue check mark, and then at the bottom of the screen you'll see it says Create Movie. I'll click that, and I'm into the process. Now if I had multiple video clips, I could select all of them and then do Create Movie, but I only had the one. It loads up, and you'll see it starts by default at the end of the video. To move to other parts of it, all I have to do is put my finger on the screen and drag like I do with anything else in a smartphone or an iPad or whatever. But I want to go to the very beginning. You'll notice there is the triangle pointing to the right for play. There's also a triangle pointing to the left with a line in front of it. That's a fast rewind. And so if I click that, it'll take me to the beginning of the clip I'm currently on. So now I'm at the beginning. And because I have stuff at the beginning, at the end of me messing with the phone to turn it on and off, I want to edit this stuff out. So to do that, all I need to do is to move with my finger to a point where it looks like, where would it be? You see me getting all adjusted, fixing my sleeves, figuring out how I'm going to sit, making McCoy and Mulder sit up straight because they're slouching. Come on, guys, get with the program. And then I'm ready to go. See the smile? There's the hand. All right, so back up just a little bit to before that. And this is where I want to make the edit. To do that, I've paused where I want it to be. I just click right on that. I just tap right on it with my finger. And you'll notice that the whole clip gets a yellow box around it. That means it's active for me to edit. And down below, you'll see there are some commands. I want the command that says split right there at the left of the commands that appeared at the bottom. I click that. It chops this clip into two pieces. Now, the piece to the left is the piece I want to get rid of. So I click on it. It's got the yellow active box around it. And then I can go down. You'll see in the bottom right-hand corner is the delete, the trash can. I hit that, and then I can totally delete that clip. Now that part of the clip is gone, and I'm starting where I want it to start. But you will recall when we loaded this up and we're at the end, I also was standing in front of the camera. So now I need to go all the way to the end of my video clip so that I can take off the last part. So I'm going to do the same thing. Drag it with my finger to the point where it looks like it would be. And then, okay, stop. Oh, there, smile. Oh, that looks like a good spot right there. So here, I click on it once. See the yellow box? Click split, breaks it off. It's active. Yellow box around it. Hit delete in the lower right corner. Boom, it's gone. Now I've taken out those little extra pieces. And you'll see as I move around that this is where it needs to be. Now, something else I do on my front porch is I put in title slides. And so to do a title slide, I have to already have an image in my device of what I want the background to be. I happen to have those in the device. And so I can sit there and I can say, okay, click the plus sign to bring this up. I have moments, videos, photos, albums, blah, blah. I'm just going to click photos because that's where my background image is. When I click photos, I have options. I say all, and I see all my photos. I know which one, the second one over, is the one that's my background. I click on it. I have some options as well. I can use the plus sign to just bring it in, which is what I'm going to do. There's also these ellipses, the 3 dots there. If I click that, there's some other menu options that come up. For a cutaway, for it to just shift to another image while still keeping the audio that is on the original video. To do a picture-in-picture so that I can insert the image, keep the main one, but have a smaller other image in there. And then split screen, which is just as it implies, it's cut in half. And then the green-blue screen, which is a little more inventive. We're not going to get into any of those things today. Maybe a later episode. I'll do more on those kind of things. We're going to do the plus sign. So I need to close out of this. And then I'm going to just click the plus sign. And it will grab that image and drop it right in. Now, one of the other things that iMovie automatically does is it adds this effect called Ken Burns, which is the famous director, and he likes to do his motion camera stuff. I don't want that on here. I want my background to stay as it is. So I click on my background or on that image. Notice it's got the yellow box around it. And you see where it says Ken Burns enabled? That's causing it to move like it did there. I don't want that to be on. So now I need to come back, click on my clip again, and see where it says Ken Burns enabled? I'm going to click right on that, touch that with my finger, and it's now disabled, which means the image will not float around like it was doing before. But I now have to resize the image because it was made bigger so that it could be moved around. And that's a simple matter of pinching it with my fingers like you pinch other things. And if I pinch it too small, notice it just resizes it to what it needs to be. Now, my background image is there, ta-da, and it's not moving around, so we're good to go. But now the next thing that I need to do is work on this transition. Notice it put that in for me, and it's made it 1 second long. You see at the bottom of the screen, and it's a dissolve. But I can change it from the dissolve. Notice when I click that, whoop, it made it 1.5 seconds. I can make it a slide, and if I keep clicking on slide, it changes the direction that the scenes slide around. Same thing is right next to it with the wipe. If I hit wipe and I just keep clicking on the wipe, it changes the direction around. And there's also a fade. Fade would be a fade through black, or my personal favorite still is the dissolve. And so now the dissolve just transitions, fades right one into the other, contrary to the other one being called fade. But so now I also need to put in my title because I do titling. So I click on the letter T at the bottom, and that brings up the style types. Really the way that's going to look, the way it's going to come in, the way the words are going to enter. The font will change differently elsewhere. Now normally I do something like reveal or standard, but for this purpose we'll do something fun like the pop-up. So we'll choose that one. And then you'll see that white dot there in the left hand corner over there. If I click on that, it brings up the color palette. I can choose a different color. Let's choose blue for this. I think blue would be nice. So we'll choose blue, and then I just click on the dot again to make the color palette go away because I've selected my color. And now you'll see those letters, the A, the upper and lower case. I click on that, and that's where I can choose my font. Normally, again, I choose something fairly basic, but for this, let's do something fun like, oh, comic script. Now, I like comic script, although I think it's oddly named. It should be called Indiana Jones, but that's just me. Now, one other thing that gets overlooked, see those 3 ellipses right there next to what is now the blue dot? If I click on those 3 ellipses, there's some other options. These often get overlooked. One of them at the bottom says full clip duration. That means the title will stay on the screen for the whole duration of that image that I have as my opening title slide, as opposed to just a quick little whoop, here it is and gone. There's some other options in here too that we may talk about another time. But so now I've got my title in there. And so I need to type in the actual text I want it to be. I click on it. It comes up with the edit option. I type in what I want it to be. Let's call this let's call this magic. What do we have? Magic example. That's a good one. All right. So then I say done, and there it is. So if I go back to the beginning and I hit play, now you'll see my title comes up. The background isn't moving, and then my transition takes me right into me. Now let's go to the back end and do the same thing all over again. Well, I don't have to add a title, but I do need to add a closing slide. So again, I come here, I push the plus sign, I come up to all for my images, and the first one is the one I want. Hit the plus sign there. It comes in, added the transition on its own, but also made it so that it was Ken Burns enabled. Now you'll notice titles is still selected in the bottom, and that doesn't give me the editing tools I need. I need to click on the scissors that say action, and then I see the option that says Ken Burns enabled. I turn off the Ken Burns enabled because I don't need the Ken Burns enabled on, and then I have to resize the image by pinching it, and it sets itself straight. And so now if I play the video, ends with me yapping away, and then there is my ending title slide. Now, one other thing that I do a lot is inserting images using that cutaway option. So let's say right about here, I was talking about the lapel microphones that I wear. You see that little black thing pinned to my shirt there. Let's say I was talking about the lapel microphones and I wanted to insert an image of that. Well, you'll see up in the top right corner, I actually do have an image of those. And so with the playback head paused right where I want to bring it in, I click on that image. Now in this case, I click the 3 ellipses and I choose cutaway is the one that I'm going to choose for this purpose. And it brings in the image up above. I can resize that if I want to, but for this purpose, we'll just leave it as is. And so now if I hit play, you'll notice that I am talking, and you still hear me saying the things I was saying, but the image had changed, and now I'm back to me. That's what the cutaway allows you to do. It allows you to keep hearing my audio, but it cuts away to a different image. That could also be a video that you would put in there. There's a whole bunch of other stuff that we could still do with iMovie, little things I like to play with and all, but we'll just stop there. We'll call that done. Up in the top left corner, we'll click where it says done. Now I can give my video a name, click on it, and remember we called it Magic Example. So I will type that in here, say done. And now it is ready for me to share my video. In the bottom, in the middle, is the little button that has the up arrow. I click on that. That's the export and share button. You can do either one, but for our purposes here, for what I'm going to do, I'm going to click share video because that will then give me the other options that I want to make use of. You'll see right there from the top, there are lots of options here, but you'll see the second from the top here says save video. That's the one I want because that's going to create a separate video file. So I'm going to click on Save Video, and it just starts the process. Now, this process of exporting the video depending on how long your video is, or how much other graphics or audio, if you did music, sound effects, and that kind of stuff, can extend the amount of time it takes for this exporting to happen. The other thing to keep in mind is you cannot close down iMovie while it's doing this, or open up something else. If you get a random text message or something while you're recording this, and then you go to check the text message, you'll come back and find that the export has failed. So it's important to make sure that when you're doing this, you have the time to be able to say export and let it go for however long it's going to take you. Now it says it's done, that the movie was exported to your photo library, and so if I click OK, then it will take me now to, well, here I have to close out of iMovie, and then I can go to my photo library, and when I open my photo library, there's all my other videos, there's those things there, and down there is my actual video I've just made right here, right before your very eyes. It's magic! Oh, sorry guys, am I blocking you? Sorry, but you know that sun came out a little harsher, a little different. Unless I want to wear a mask that looks like the frame of the window, I'm gonna have to block you a bit, Mulder. Sorry. But that's it. That's the basics. Now, some of you are going, "Oh, that's it, Paul. That was a lot." Trust me. Having used other video editing systems, in fact, I used to edit analog video tape. I had the whole video editing system for doing that with, and this is real easy. So that's doing that. And then once I've got it saved to my phone, like I said, I can just upload it to Facebook, to YouTube, to whatever. Now there's one other detail about that. As long as we're talking about little behind-the-scenes magic stuff, I'll throw this one in for free. When you upload a video to Facebook, now you have to keep in mind if you've added music in something, if it's copyrighted, if it's like your favorite song or something, Facebook is pretty strict about that stuff, and they will actually. Facebook will mute the audio of your video if they feel like you have used copyrighted music inappropriately. So be cautious about that. But you edit your video and you upload it. You want to upload it to Facebook. Well, when you upload it to Facebook, Facebook decides for you what the thumbnail image is going to be. That's when you've got it uploaded and it's either in your feed or it's on your page where you've got all your videos, and it's that still image that's there. Now, you may not like the image that Facebook chose, either because it's not representative of what you've done, or maybe it has your face frozen. I've had that happen before where it uploads it and it's my face going, or something really, I'm in the middle of saying something or reacting to something, and it has this frozen, really weird expression. And so if you want to change that, it's actually very easy to change, but finding the command is a little more difficult. So, here's my little behind the scenes magic for changing the thumbnail of your Facebook video. First thing you have to do, well, and please note, you have to do this on a PC, on an actual computer. You can't do it on your mobile device. So you have to be on a laptop or a desktop or something like that. You go to your Facebook page or the Facebook page that has the video that you're wanting to edit. Go to the videos section, where you can see the videos. Go to the video you want to change the thumbnail of and click on it because you need it to be full screen. Then you go up to the top right corner and you see the three little ellipses. There are those three little dots again. We go and click on that, and you have a little menu that shows up underneath that. Underneath that menu there is an edit post option. Nothing about editing the video, just edit post. We'll click on that, and that will open up another dialog box in front of your video that is for editing the post. And you will see on the video itself in this dialog box a button that says Video Options. Click on the Video Options button and it will open up a whole nother window with the things that you can do to edit your video, which includes adding a title, adding tags, adding captions, and of course, change the thumbnail. I click on that. And there are options such as uploading an image, using an image they suggest. Personally, I like choose from the video, which then allows me to come over and you can either play the video and select an option, or I like to just click around and find a still that looks like what I'd like to use, like this one. I'd like that to be my still image, so you make sure it says choose from video, that's selected with the frame selected over that I wanted. Click save. And now when I click save again, that is now the still image for that video. It will be the thumbnail when I see it in my list. And it's just as easy as that. Again, the hardest part is finding the thing, because you got 2 levels of 3 ellipses. So anyway, as the sun begins to set here, but not fast enough, because if it set a little faster, I wouldn't be dealing with these weird lighting conditions. But as the sun begins to set and we start to focus our minds and gear towards Beggar's Night here in the Saylorville Township, and the last hurrah for these guys here. Here, I'll step in the shadows here for a moment. Oh, I was in the shadows. There's the shadows, so that you guys can be seen. But my friends McCoy and Mulder, on their behalf and mine as well, I do thank you for watching. I hope that if you're interested in this kind of video editing stuff or creating videos with your iPhone and uploading them to Facebook, that kind of thing, I hope I've given you a few tips and tricks that you might be able to use. Feel free to reach out if there's anything else that you'd like to know. I may not have an answer either, but if I do, I'm happy to share. So that's it. I'm a lousy magician because I've just showed you the secret of my tricks. Well, some of them. All right. With that, I'll see y'all next time from my front porch.